Hi there. This is Sean Brodrick, and I'm at the New Orleans Investment Conference, and I'm speaking to Scott Melbye. He's the Executive Vice President of Uranium Energy Corp. And Scott, I am so old that I've actually been to see the working mines you guys had in Texas before everything shut down because the price went down.
Yep.
But now we're seeing the uranium price recover. And so what does that uranium price recovery look like for UEC going forward on like the timing, what price you might actually look at before you actually switch the pumps back on? What's that going to look like?
Well, yeah, you're right. We, you recall the period of time where we produced at Palangana in South Texas from 2010 to about 2013.
Mm-hmm.
As an unhedged producer, we have to have the discipline to shut in when prices go down and be ready to ramp up when prices go up. So the decision to shut in 2013 was the right one. We preserved, what would have been 5 years of resource depletion in a pretty difficult market. So those resources are still there and ready to be mined and a return that they deserve, a better return that they deserve in a rising market. So for us, our whole business strategy is to be de-risked, fully licensed, and ready to go when prices recover. So your question is germane, and we're doing a lot of planning within the management team to ensure that all those steps are taken. But the first source of production that's going to be the lowest cost and the quickest to turn on is Palangana. We still have remaining resources there that really could be, we could resume mining there within 2 to 3 months, which is incredible.
Wow.
Everything's permitted, built. We just have to drill out and connect well fields to the existing infrastructure. We've set a target there for restart of a threshold of about $40 per pound. That's not our break even. That's our incentive price that would cause us to go back into production.
Mm-hmm.
Our cash cost there in the run period that we had was a pretty decent $21.77 a pound, which puts us in the lowest first or second quartile of production costs globally. So that that's the lowest hanging fruit for us to pick as the price recovers. We'll also be looking at advancing Burke Hollow, which is our next production center in Texas. This is a 7 million pound resource, which probably has significantly more resources as we continue to drill out the formation on that property. But there we're kind of targeting a $45 price. We have to build the satellite well field, and that took us 6 months and $10 million at Palangana. Let's just assume, to be conservative, it'll take 6 months to a year, and somewhere between $10 to $15 million for the well field. Good news is we have some plant and equipment that's already purchased, and it's staged at the Hobson plant, so we can direct that to Burke Hollow. We're not going to entirely wait for the price to get there before we advance things, though. You know that we just went through a successful raise of $20 million.
Yeah.
Much of that is going to be deployed in steps to advance our production readiness. And at Burke Hollow, what that looks like is the establishment of the monitor well ring. And this is the drill holes around the ore body that monitors the baseline water when we start, during operations, and after operations, and we can determine whether our operations are having any impact outside of the production area. It's a prerequisite to production. It needs to be done. We're going to go ahead in 2019 and drill those wells and install the monitor well ring. We're also looking at drilling out the initial production Area 1 at Burke Hollow. This is a little bit, if we were talking about conventional mining, this is sort of your tunneling and tunneling out to the ore body. So
yeah.
It's equivalent to that for us. It's putting the well field in, the drilling in, so when it comes time to produce, we then, like at Palangana, connect the piping pumps wells to the ion exchange columns and move into production. So we'll wait to $45 to get into production, but we're already doing in 2019, we'll do some of the development work to get us to that point. We have one less permit to receive probably before Christmas, which is our radioactive materials license, which is the last permit at Burke Hollow. So exciting news there.
All right, so, but it would be safe to say that if you're doing that work in 2019, you'd expect by 2020 that the price will be up there, because you don't want to do work and then not have
Yeah,
to do anything.
no, I mean, we clearly believe, we've been very cautious in not getting out ahead of the market. And again, we made the right call. But I think we also don't want to be too cautious and find that the market's recovered and we're spinning our wheels to get back into production. So the management team and the operations team, we're all aware of this. So we're kind of that 1 foot on the brake, 1 foot on the gas. But I think we're going to be putting a little more pressure on the gas pedal as the uranium price continues moving northward. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see prices pushing through $30 a pound by the end of the year. So we have to be ready, but not jump the gun.
Okay, so when Palangala actually comes back online, how much annual production is that from there?
Yeah, so we've been in production at Palangana for some time. We have identified resources of a little over 2 million pounds remaining. Now, folks may look at that and say, well, that's not a lot of production. But if you think of it in a $40 or $50 uranium market, that's $90 to $100 million. So, it's very much a low-hanging fruit for us to go in there and mine out the remaining resources at Palangana. But we'll at the same time be advancing Burke Hollow to where you could have some production coming from Palangana and Burke Hollow, both feeding the Hobson plant at the same time. But we have a physical capacity there of 2 million pounds a year. So our Texas capacity from any of the satellite well fields combined is 2 million pounds per year. Now, as you know, in the downturn, we acquired Reno Creek and North Reno Creek in the Powder River Basin of Wyoming.
I was going to ask you about those.
Incredible deposit. By combining the Energy Fuels and the Pack Road Reno Creek deposits, we now have what will be close to a 30 million pound deposit under a fully permitted 2 million pound per year license.
And what's the price threshold that you're looking at up there?
There, we're roughly saying we're targeting about $50. Why
Okay.
is it more expensive than Texas? It's in Texas we have the benefit of all year-round warm weather operations. We don't have to bury pipelines. We don't have to heat wellheads. We don't have to enclose the well field structures, the ion exchange columns. So it is slightly more costly there. It is a new area. I mean, obviously we have existing infrastructure in and around South Texas, so we're moving into a new area. The plan of attack for 2019 for Reno Creek is complete the 43-101 consolidation between the two properties that form one deposit, and move forward with a feasibility study to really determine what is the development timeline, how much will it cost, what are the capital needs that'll really allow us to make a go-forward decision. One of those decisions will be whether we continue to look at a toll milling arrangement with nearby producers, or go ahead and build our own processing plant like we have at Hobson. That's a big ticket item. However, with a 30 million pound deposit, it certainly could justify its own processing plant. So those are the economic decisions that we'll be making once we update the feasibility study.
Okay, great. Well, that about covers my questions. Is there anything you think we haven't covered?
No, I think it's good. Again, we feel that at UEC, all the stuff that has been under our control, we've been doing the right things. That production constraint and production readiness, I think, is now going to pay off. The only thing that was out of our control was the uranium market, and now we're finally seeing the rebalancing and strengthening in the uranium price. So we're looking forward to a very good year in 2019.
All right, great. Thanks very much for speaking to my subscribers. This is great stuff, folks. This actually gives us some price thresholds and also what the company will do over the next year or so. That is really good stuff and actually helps us make some plans about this company. So stay tuned. We'll be talking about them some more. Thanks very much for talking to my subscribers. I will have more for you. This is Sean Brodrick in New Orleans.